Imagine turning a tiny chip into a sound so loud and shrill it'll make your ears beg for mercy. Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you exactly how to unleash that power with a 555 timer. Stay tuned to the second part of this video where I'll explain how this circuit works. I've packed my favorite 555 timer projects into a free ebook. Yep, totally free. Don't miss it. Click the link in the description to get yours. Here are all the components you need to set up this circuit. 2 alligator clips, 6 jumper wires, 1 555 timer IC, a 1 kilo ohm resistor, 1 light-dependent resistor, 1 10 microfarad capacitor, 1 100 nanofarad ceramic capacitor, a battery holder with 4 AA batteries for the power source, a 5-watt speaker, a breadboard to connect everything together. The 555 timer IC comes with 8 pins. There is a notch or a dot on the chip's body. Starting from the top left is pin 1, which is ground or the ground supply. Pin 2 is trigger. It is used to start the timing interval in both monostable and astable modes. Pin 3 is output. It delivers the result of the timer's operation based on its mode, either monostable, astable, or bistable. Pin 4 is reset. It is used to reset the 555 timer's internal flip-flop. Pin 5 is control. It allows you to control the threshold voltage levels that the internal comparators use to set and reset the flip-flop. Pin 6 is threshold. It monitors the voltage of the capacitor connected to the circuit. Pin 7 is discharge. It controls the charge and discharge cycle of the timing capacitor. Pin 8 is VCC. It is responsible for supplying the power to the IC. Let's set up the circuit step by step. Start by placing the 555 timer IC onto the breadboard. Remember, the pins are numbered counterclockwise, starting from the top left. Refer to the later circuit diagram if you have questions about the circuit connections. Insert the 555 timer in the middle of the breadboard. A jumper wire connects pin 1 or ground to the negative rail. A jumper wire connects pin 8 or VCC to the positive rail. Use a jumper wire to connect pin 2 or trigger to pin 6 or threshold. Use a jumper wire to connect pin 4 or reset to pin 8 or VCC. Insert a 100 nanofarad ceramic capacitor into pin 2 or trigger in the negative rail. Insert a light-dependent resistor into pin 3 or output in a few rows below the 555 timer. Bend the ends of a 1 kilo ohm resistor. Insert the 1 kilo ohm resistor into the same row as the LDR and pin 6 or threshold. Insert a 10 microfarad capacitor into pin 3 or output and a few rows below the 555 timer. The anode is in pin 3. Insert a jumper wire in the same row as the capacitor. Attach the other end of the jumper wire to the alligator clip. Insert a jumper wire into the negative rail. Attach the other end of the jumper wire to the alligator clip. Attach the alligator clip to the 5-watt speaker. It's time to connect the power supply. Connect the positive lead of the battery holder to the positive rail. Connect the negative lead of the battery holder to the negative rail. We have successfully completed the circuit. The sound shifts based on how much light strikes the LDR. Let's dive into the circuit and break it down step by step. This screamer is just a 555 timer wired as a free-running oscillator that hammers a small speaker with a strong square wave tone. Power is a 6-volt battery. Pin 8 or VCC and pin 4 or reset are tied to the positive rail, so the IC runs continuously and pin 1 is ground. Pins 2 or trigger and pin 6 or threshold are tied together, monitoring the voltage across the 100 nanofarad timing capacitor connected to ground. Inside the 555, 2 comparators flip the output at fixed fractions of the supply. When the capacitor falls below 1/3 VCC, the output goes high. When it climbs past 2/3 VCC, the output goes low. The 1 kilo ohm and the photoresistor or 4 kilo ohm LDR act as the resistance the timing capacitor sees. In bright light, the LDR's resistance drops. The capacitor charges and discharges faster between 1/3 VCC and 2/3 VCC, and the frequency shoots up into the several kilohertz range, right where human hearing is most sensitive, so the sound feels painfully sharp. Cover the LDR and its resistance climbs. Pin 3 or output is the square wave drive. It connects to the speaker through a 10 microfarad electrolytic used as a coupling capacitor. That capacitor blocks DC, so the speaker only sees the AC part of the 555 waveform. It also shapes the leading trailing edges a bit, which adds bite to the tone. The bottom of the speaker returns to ground. There are a couple of reasons this circuit produces a piercing scream instead of a simple beep. First, the LDR doesn't just set the timing resistance and control the oscillation frequency, it also affects the voltage at the output, pulling it slightly toward the supply voltage. This changes the duty cycle of the waveform and causes sharper, more abrupt current spikes to pass through the coupling capacitor into the speaker. Those spikes add extra high-frequency harmonics, which make the sound much harsher to the ear. Second, the timing components are deliberately chosen to be small. With a 100 nanofarad capacitor and only a few kilo ohms of effective resistance in bright light, the 555 oscillates in the 3 to 8 kilohertz range. That range sits right where human hearing is most sensitive, so the sound is intentionally ear-piercing. I hope this video has shown you how to make an ear-piercing scream sound with a 555 timer IC. Want to dive deeper into 555 timer projects? Grab my free ebook packed with awesome circuits and ideas. Don't miss it. Click the link in the description to get yours. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing for more electronics tips and tutorials, and hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.